Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining Module 2 of our e-commerce and digital marketing mentoring program for MSMEs. Our topic for tonight is online presence creation. And we will tackle the topic looking at three areas, no, or three options for online presence creation, starting with joining e-commerce marketplaces, joining e-commerce site creation platforms, and then we will also talk about how you can build your own e-commerce site. We can have, and then afterwards we will have an open session where you can share your website and maybe if there's anything that you would like to get feedback on, you can ask your questions or post your concerns so that we can have a discussion on that later on. Okay, so let's begin our session. So we start the session for tonight discussing how to join e-commerce marketplaces because there are three ways that you can sell online. The first option is that you can sell through marketplaces. The second option is you can create your own e-commerce site, but instead of building it from scratch, you can use site creation platforms. And then, of course, the third option is to really build your own e-commerce site. So let's start first with how you can join e-commerce marketplaces. Now, the usual question is that why do you need to join e-commerce marketplaces? Why not just go ahead and proceed with your own website rather than join e-commerce marketplaces? There are advantages of joining e-commerce marketplaces. For one, I think the biggest advantage is that you can do product development, you can do product testing. You can also validate whether your ideas for the products, the pricing, how you describe it is competitive enough in comparison to whoever is the competition out there. No? So apart from that, most of these platforms offer free sign up. Usually they don't charge a fee, although there are some who offers premium membership. Usually they only charge you transactional fees. And then if they are already an existing platform and are quite popular and has good traffic, if you remember last week, we looked at some of the top e-commerce marketplace players. If they have a good brand and are actively investing in marketing and has co-branding, co-marketing programs, you can take advantage of that rather than do everything on your own. And then at the same time, if you're the kind of person who doesn't have that much resources to hire manpower, to maintain your website, handle your marketing, among others, especially if you're starting on a tight budget, it's good to join marketplaces who have existing programs that takes care of that for you, no? And you just focus on, you focus more on the operations and just deliver the product. And of course, it's also useful for brand awareness and tap the existing community. The disadvantage though about joining marketplaces is that if you are active also in marketing your own store online, where you are part of a marketplace, your promotion efforts can also benefit your competition because usually when your product is shown, it also shows other products that are related to yours and you might end up driving traffic to others, no? But of course, if the others are doing it, it will also benefit you. And some marketplaces, they may be active, they may be hype and all, but not everyone is investing in marketing. Not everyone is investing in marketing at all. That is why, if you noticed last week, I put great emphasis on Alexa rankings because, of course, there's similar web, but for me, I'm using Alexa because more or less that gives you an indication whether the marketplace is really working hard to drive customers because what's the point of investing your time, resource, your efforts in building your website in a marketplace and then ikaw rin pala lahat ng magmamarketing at halos wala silang effort na magmarketing. Of course, not everyone will have the kind of resources as the top marketplaces, but you wanna see effort na hindi naman pwedeng bahala ka mag-build, bahala ka sa buhay mo. Sana makita mo rin na merong program na may collaboration at magtulungan kayo pagdating sa marketing, no? And then, of course, there are some marketplaces who are also delayed in payments. So that is why we have to make sure that we're dealing with marketplaces that are credible and if they are new, don't sell too many things too soon and baka later on magka-problema ka sa payments. And of course, di ba, recently, kagaya na nangyari sa Ensogo, nagsara sila, no? And in fact, earlier, I got a private message from someone inquiring kung nabayaran na raw ba yung mga suppliers ng Ensogo kasi bigla na nga lang sila nagsara. Sabi ko, mula na mag-post ako ng blog post, wala naman ako nakitang complaints or anything of that nature. So, at saka di na rin siya naging ganun kaingay. So, I assume bukang na-handle naman nila na maayos yung mga suppliers nila. So, yun din yung minsan nakaka-worry, no? You try to sell on one platform, and then the platform suddenly closed, no? And then you have sales that you haven't collected yet, or if you're a buyer, you bought products and they were not delivered yet, no? So that's the kind of worry that you don't want to burden yourself with, okay? So what are the available platforms out there? Some platforms are designed for local transactions, while there are some platforms that are meant for cross-border. For example, for B2B and cross-border, when I talk about B2B, business to business, meaning you are an exporter and you're selling a lot of stuff, like Filipinos selling bags or fashion accessories or uh, toys, what have you, no? They might be selling in platforms like TradeKey so that they can look for potential importers of their products, no? So if you go to TradeKey, you can have yourself listed, especially if you are really into exports. But usually for TradeKey, although they may have free membership where you can start posting your information, but if you really want to take advantage of getting better exposure and making sure that you'll be able to compete with all the other exporters selling through the platform, you need to avail of their membership. The Silver Key membership is at $549. I think that's good for a year. And then you have advanced membership at $650, and then they have a Gold Key membership. Now, if you notice, members have priority ranking in terms of listing, like they are listed third if they're silver, listed second if they are in the advanced, and they are listed first if they are in the gold category. And there are also certain limits, like the number of items that they can sell online. No? So, post 200 sell offers, post 300 buying requests, 200 trust points, since they will be a verified supplier. They have a call calling credit. They have, in this case, they have a company website, 300 buying requests, same, no? Same number of catalogs, but I guess the improvement is more on the ranking. And then in this case, priority rank 1, and then they have product showcases and higher sell offers, higher buying requests, they have trade alerts and higher trust points. So that is an example for cross-border e-commerce. Of course, another platform that is popular for cross-border e-commerce is Alibaba. Although a lot of us use Alibaba to buy products from China and ship it to the Philippines, but you can actually use the platform as well to sell and ship to other countries. No, lately I've been looking for headdresses or hair jewelry, because usually I don't like wearing hair bands, and I kind of look for accessories that I can put on my hair without necessarily using the usual parang rubber band or hairband, no? So I was looking for some hair accessories that are, yung nga lang parang kadalasan nasa bridal category siya, no? But anyway, you can look for items in Alibaba. Some of the items you can purchase from for one piece up to, some would require a minimum number of pieces before you can purchase. But of course, Alibaba can also be used as a platform for you to sell. Now, some interesting facts about Alibaba, if you try to sell through this platform, is that they have what they call the trade assurance service, or a value-added feature, where if a seller is selling something and they avail of trade assurance, and the buyer is enabled for trade assurance, it guarantees full refund to the customer if the product is not delivered or is delayed. No? So usually, customers are encouraged to deal with buyers that offers trade assurance. Okay. Another thing that you will find about Alibaba is that they also provide business verification for free. So meaning, if you want to sell to the platform and you want to be verified, Alibaba will verify you for free. Now, this is interesting, no? Because if you remember last week, we talked about new services or new platforms available out there, including Filius and vendor integrity access. that you can avail of in the Philippines, and of course you also have the PhilJeps of the government. Usually, if you want to be verified or move up, no, you have to pay a fee. Although of course there's a different level of sophistication of verification that takes place, no, for some services like that of Vendor Integrity Access, which is part of the Dun and Bradstreet global network. And but of course in this case of Alibaba, they offer verification, and I think the nice thing about Alibaba verification is that if you can have yourself be verified, then you can already put that to your existing website, no? So yun yung nakikita kong benefit sa kanya. So let's say if you're a company and into exports, you can create a listing on Alibaba, get yourself verified, and put that verification status on your website. So that's already a plus point because you already got a third party who can verify you for free. Okay? Now, another thing that you will find with Alibaba is that they also have premium membership. No? They have gold supplier membership, and of course, they have the free membership. For a free membership, their priority ranking starts at the 4th, product postings up to 50 only, product showcase up, no product showcase, and your photo bank size at 10 meg as indicated here. No? Um, and then no inquiry reply feature. However, if you avail of their basic package, you have a third priority ranking, unlimited posting, 1 gig size, and then you have 5 product showcase. You can you have the ability to quote buying requests. You have a verified icon and a customized website. For the standard package, they have 12 product showcase. And then for the premium package, they have 28 product showcase, and you have a personalized customer service feature. All of them have sub-accounts, at least for the paid versions. And they also have BizTrends performance and BizTrends from an industry analysis perspective. And if you're a gold member, they also offer you an inquiry and reply feature. Now, if you notice how much they charge, no, the gold supplier, their basic package is at $1,399. I assume that is per year, and then if you have the extra increase package, you have to add $500. Okay, and then if you want the standard, they charge, how much is that? 3,400, and then the gold pays around 6,499. So I think if you are the kind of a vendor who's very serious in exports and have the volume to compete, no, and the last thing you want is to get listed, but you don't really have a product, you don't have the means to produce. But if you're the kind of company who really has a lot of inventory, you have your own, you have your own production system where you can generate all of these products and sell it online. Like, for example, you manufacture slippers or you manufacture sneakers, and you really have an assembly line that can really manufacture and compete on a global scale, then I guess participating in platforms like Alibaba can be worth it. And you go for big transactions rather than just go on per piece retail, no? So that's Alibaba for you. So that's an example of both TradeKey and Alibaba are example of B2B or business-to-business e-commerce marketplaces. This is what I usually refer to as something that we don't have in the Philippines. We don't have a B2B platform that caters to this level. I mean, if you want to trade at this level, you have to join international marketplaces. We don't have local marketplaces that really targets at this level. But if any of you would aspire to build a marketplace that is at this level, you have to make sure that you are connected to the other networks, meaning you can become a one-stop shop where the company can get listed on your platform, but at the same time, you make them available to other international platforms. Therefore, you maximize the exposure that you will give to the businesses joining you. Now, insofar as the local marketplaces, there are a lot of interesting players, but one of the players that I'm quite fond of lately is Shopee. No, so if you go to website shopee.ph, Shopee.ph allows anyone to sell online. They don't charge a commission. They provide free shopping. So that means that if you are a seller, if you sell something for 500 pesos, what you will get paid for is 500 pesos. And right now they offer depends on your location, you can apply for a shipping promo so that you don't have to pay for shipping fees. And your customer may also be excluded from paying shipping fees. So I think this is something that you might want to take advantage of if you really want to sell online. I noticed that there are a lot of opportunities in Shopee because most Shopee sellers are resellers of other brands. Like, for example, when I was looking at headdresses, I noticed some of the headdresses that are being marketed there are those that you can find in eBay. US, no, at nagre-resell sila. Although meron din ako mga nakita na hindi ko pa nakita before. So, but if you're the kind of person who does a lot of buy and sell and would like to market and your price is very competitive, I think Shopee is something that you might want to look into, especially if you want to sell in marketplaces and get your feet wet, no, in so far as selling things online in a marketplace. Of course, the most popular, I could say, I hope I will not offend anyone by saying that they are the most popular marketplace right now, and that would be Lazada in the Philippines. And Lazada, they have, if you want to sell online to Lazada, you can just click on this link, which is sell on Lazada. Usually, if you want to sell on Lazada, you have to sign up first via email, and then you have to fill up a form, and then an email will be sent to you with a link where you have to complete the sign up process. And during the sign up process, you have to upload documents. But the SADA is very strict with their documentation. For example, if you are a corporation, you must have a board resolution really authorizing you to proceed in selling through the platform. You need to have charge invoices available because you cannot actually issue a sales invoice, but what you need is a charge invoice. You need to have collection receipts as well. And what else do they require? Of course, they go through some test delivery process, and depending on your product, you can also avail of their fulfillment by Lazada feature, no? And then the charges that they give to merchants vary depending on the products that you are selling, no? So it can vary from as low as, if I recall correctly, 3% to as high as 10% or even higher depending on the nature of the product that you are selling. And of course, there are taxes, there's the shipping fee, among others. But so far, I've met a lot of sellers already who claim that they only sell through the platform, and some are even contented selling through it and not bother having their own website anymore. No, one of my students in Baguio assisted an MSME to sell woodworks on the website. The name of the company is I think Silverwork. Not the Silverwork, the jewelry brand here, but another Silverwork company. And they sell woodcraft materials from woodcraft items from Last Supper to, how do you call that, stools, tables, among others. And I think their sales have reached 5 figures already, but on the higher 5-figure side. And the owner is quite happy with their sales performance so far on the website. No? So if you want a marketplace that does a lot of marketing, even though it's very competitive, I think Lazada is the platform to be in. It's funny though, when I was conducting an e-commerce and digital marketing learning session in Cebu, one of my students there was actually selling PVC pipes, no, wallpapers and the likes, but particularly PVC pipes. I'm sure you're familiar with PVC pipes, no? And they're quite reluctant on posting pricing online because their intention is to look for resellers for the PVC pipes. And I was telling them that, look, if people would really want to look for something, they can already find it online. And then to prove the point, we went to Lazada and searched for PVC pipes. And lo and behold, you can already buy PVC pipes on Lazada. No? In fact, you can buy a lot of construction supplies now in Lazada. And you'll be surprised how much items are there that you can already purchase. No? I was telling them that maybe their first entry to make their brand known, their PVC pipes from Turkey, is maybe to sell through platforms like Lazada and just simply start marketing it if what they're after is market share. Of course, you still have your C2C, consumer-to-consumer classified sites like OLX, where, of course, if you're familiar with the old OLX, of course, a lot has changed, and they have categories, and then you can sign in whether you're just looking for items to buy or you want to sell. No? And there's a limitation on number of items that you can post for free. Otherwise, you have to get credits if you want to post more. And OLX is really designed for people selling to each other. And then if you recall last time, it seems the second most popular e-commerce marketplace site now is goods.ph. And like Lazada, goods.ph also allows you to sell online. So you can become a seller on goods. The interface is a little bit similar, surprisingly, but maybe not necessarily the interface, but more of the process of verification, getting people to sign up. And I appreciate that because usually people want familiarity. If your process is if your process is quite the same as the other players, then more or less people will feel less reluctant shopping with you because they're familiar with the process or with the process of the other player. So in your case, if you are also selling products and services online, of course we have to communicate how different we are, but at the same time, we also have to use some semblance of familiarity, like how familiar people are when looking at certain products and services. What do they say? How they describe things in order for you to attract those who are already existing purchasers of the product without deviating too much from what they are familiar with. No? So goods.ph is also another platform where you can buy and sell. And actually, they're quite competitive, and they also have a loyal following already. If I recall correctly, goods.ph was actually the first marketplace to attempt to sell groceries online. Okay. And then there's Takatak.com that you can also sell. Takatak is a mixture of several things. Partly they are an affiliate of several sites. That is why when you start buying inside Takatak, you notice that some of the items are actually from Lazada. And but of course they also have their own, and the merchants who would like to sell through Takatak, they have to go through Takdis, and I will show Takdis to you later on. But nevertheless, Takatak is very aggressive. It is considered as one of the top 10 e-commerce websites in the Philippines in terms of traffic, where you want to make your sales or your products and services available in, no? And be accessible um, to buyers. Of course, if you are in fashion or whether clothing, accessories, footwear, among others, you can also sell through platforms like Zalora. And like Lazada, they also have what they refer to as a seller center that gives you, that will make it easy for people to, or for sellers to update their information and post information about the products and services that they're selling. Actually, all of the marketplaces actually provide this platform. That is why I also try to veer away from platforms that doesn't have a clear seller center where you can post your products. But and at the same time, we veered away from from platforms that don't have rankings at the moment because it will be futile to force ourselves into those platforms when they haven't done much to improve their traffic rankings. No? For Air 21, there is Shop Pinas. I remember one of my students who's the business development manager of Shop Pinas, Mark Joseph Panganiban, said that although Shop Pinas traffic may be less than the big players and their rankings may not be as high as the big players, but what they're claiming is that they have a very high conversion rate because the usual conversion rate is like uh, 1 to 3%. They claim that Shop Pinas has a conversion rate of 6%. No? Maybe because of them being very targeted with the traffic that they have. No? I think what makes Shop Pinas very competitive is the alliance or the, well, not really the alliance, but being but having Air 21 as the company behind it, no? So they are the only marketplace right now where they can pick up and deliver to any place in the country for as long as there is an Air 21 branch. So meaning if you are in Zamboanga where most of the marketplaces cannot pick up at your location, most likely because Air 21 is there, if you sell to Shop Pinas and you got an order, Shop Pinas will be able to pick it up from you because most of the marketplaces, instead of you shipping to the customer directly, what they usually do is they pick up the item from you and they deliver it to the customer. And the reason behind that is to avoid being caught in the middle if there is a dispute between the seller and the buyer. If the marketplace picks it up from you, make sure that the product is okay, no problem, before shipping it to the customer. Then if the customer complains, then they are able to protect the merchant because they are able to guarantee that the product is in good condition and be able to negotiate better with the courier if there is mishandling of the package rather than giving the burden to the merchant who in all best intentions knew that they shipped the product properly and packaged it properly, no? So I think that's the beauty of dealing with platforms like Shoppinas with Air 21 with Air 21 behind it. Now, if you are in the food business, you can sign up with Foodpanda. Foodpanda actually has as you know, they partner with restaurants. And so if you're a restaurant, yeah, you can come up with your own e-commerce website. You can accept reservation, booking, what have you, and even accept payments. But if you join Foodpanda, then you become part of a network or part of a database where customers who are looking for food to order and eat can look at a wide variety of restaurants in their area that is nearest them. And then if an order is received, then there's the order is placed, and then you have the network of how do you call it, bike riders who can pick up the food and deliver it to the customer who ordered it. Actually, I use Food Panda not in Manila, but I usually use it in Cebu. I usually hold my classes in Mandaue City at Cebu Digital Hub. So it's an office building. There's not much restaurants nearby, but Carinderia there are. So I have to order from a nearby restaurant, but instead of relying with the usual Jollibee or McDonald's or the usual fast food, I use Food Panda to look for food that we can order and use the account of the GM of Cebu Digital Hub whenever we place that order. If you if you go to Food Panda, they have a section there called Hotel Partners. And if you click on Hotel Partners, you can sign up. You can sign your restaurant up, no? And you go through the process of processing the partnership. And then if you become part of the network, then your restaurant can be marketed, among others. Okay? And then, of course, if you are selling cars, either as a business or as an individual, you can go to websites like autodeal.com.ph. So it helps you to find your next new car or a used car, or if you are a car owner and you want to sell your car, you can use Autodeal to sell your car. OLX used to be a popular platform for that, but OLX used to be popular for cars, and they were also popular for real estate. But the mother company put up, I think they now have Property 24 for real estate. Although the cars, I'm not so sure whether they have a platform for that. But on the Rocket Internet side, one of the sister companies of Lazada Salora, they have Lamudi for real estate, and they also have Carmudi for cars. And then on another company that does selling of cars and offers reviews and help people look for cars is Autodeal. Okay, so if you are a car seller, then this is the platform for you. Now, if you are looking for ways where if you are a resort owner, a hotel owner, what have you, and you would like to accept bookings online, you can go to booking.com and get your establishment listed. But locally, you can also go to travelbook.ph and sign up as one of their hotel partners. And if you are a hotel partner, then you can have your bookings process through the travelbook.ph network. One thing that I like about travelbook.ph is that they also have a very active blogging community as affiliates. So the bloggers are very active in promoting the hotels. And Travelbook gives them a commission for every booking that they are able to close. Okay? So that means you have bloggers who can work for you. So that means that if you're a hotel owner, you can tap bloggers to write about your establishment, but instead of you worrying whether you need to compensate them or what have you, you encourage them to become an affiliate of Travelbook so that Travelbook will be the one who's going to take care of any special arrangements should they be able to give bookings for your establishment. So those are examples of marketplaces. So before I leave that topic, are there any questions on the marketplaces that I showed earlier? So let's now continue on joining e-commerce site creation platforms. And at this point, I'm just going to run through some of the platforms that you can use in creating your website. Now, why does or what matters when using e-commerce site creation platforms? Usually, some are free and some require a fee. And some have transactional fees while others don't have transactional fees. So that's something that you have to take note of. The advantage that they mostly have is that they have a robust system, meaning these are platforms that really focus on improving the platform and making sure that it loads very fast and keeping it up to date. Of course, if the platform encounters problems like nagkaroon sila ng downtime, what have you, and I have experienced that with some that I got the chance to use, it affects you also. Another thing that you can take advantage of is that they have ready-to-use templates, so you don't have to, carry the burden of thinking about how your website is going to look like or buy a third-party template somewhere. So they usually have templates already, and you can just focus on your content, meaning your products that you're going to post online and just focus on marketing it. And since it is a site creation platform, so your site is totally independent. You're not part of a marketplace, so it's really your own site. So you don't have to worry about other parties benefiting from your marketing efforts because they will not be able to see your competitors' websites or your competitors' products, but your products alone. No? The only disadvantage that site creation platforms usually has is that your site ends as your subscription ends. Meaning if you don't renew it, that's it. Your site disappears. No? Or maybe they will give you time to renew your website, but if you're not able to renew it, there's a big possibility that your whole website will be deleted. Although you might be able to download your database, but you will not be able to download the look and feel because the template that you're using is proprietary to the platform, meaning the platform is the one who owns the template. Migration to another platform may or may not be possible. It depends on which platform you're using. Maybe if the platform that you're using allows you to capture the look and just create edits from there, it won't be an issue. But if there are a lot of bells and whistles, scripts that are working in that platform, maybe you can re-implement them on your new location, but you may have to purchase those scripts by a third party to make them work or look for them and where to get them for free. No? Some offer limited expansion options. Maybe you want to do a lot of things, but you cannot do them anymore. There was a time, from a personal experience, I was using, I think they're still up, no? I just want to share a simple story with you. There was a time once upon a time, back in 2003, I built a website called ecommercephilippines.com. And then I also built a website called digitalfilipinoclub.com. And it was on Christmas Day. I was looking, we were having a family reunion. And then in the afternoon where the whole thing was about to, how do you call it, parang wind up na, no? I was looking at my email and then I saw a buy one, take one website offer from websitewizard.com for 199 pesos a year. So I took the package called the e-commerce package because their e-commerce package was $46.95 per month, but they were offering it for $199 for a buy one, take one. And what I like about the website is that at that time they have their own payment gateway. apart from PayPal support, they also have a 2-tier affiliate program. They have a shopping cart. They have a visual site builder that you can use. They also have SEO tools included. They also have an email blast facility, and it has a free domain. And, all of these, no, for 199 for 1 year. So, talagang, and two subscription kagad siya. So, I got 2 domains for free. So, bumili kagad ako, and I was using the website for so long. I mean, I was able to build the Digital Filipino Club, the whole site, the whole community, the whole membership through that platform. And then problems started coming in because itong look ng website na to, itong service na to, ito na yung ino-offer nila noong 2003. They let go of their payment platform and they defaulted to PayPal. And I think they started using Authorize.net. But since I'm not from the US, I'm not a US citizen. So I cannot create an Authorize.net account, no? And then, nagkaroon sila ng downtime, and then I was trying to add a new blog feature. I was trying to edit my template. I cannot do it anymore. So, I eventually had to let go of the site. But, parang sobrang hinaya ko sa kanya. Talagang sobrang ganda siya. Sobra siyang ganda. For the kind of amount that they were charging. But they were not able to upgrade and keep up with the times. But I still see a lot of people using them, those who don't require blog feature. Actually, kaya ako nakapag-launch ng membership-only website in 2003. Back in 2003, I don't think we have WordPress, na sophisticated na WordPress at that time na merong membership facilities. No? Parang blogging was just growing at that time, and the platforms for blogging and content management systems were just growing at that time, and you need to have good programming skills to be able to build something like that. So when this site came out and it offered membership feature, talagang I jumped into it and said, okay, makakapag-offer na ako ng club membership na merong login. No? Parang big deal yun noon, no? Especially if you're a solopreneur na, you just want to experiment how you can make things work online. And so I built the website in a few hours. I signed up that afternoon. I created a website in less than 2 hours and offered Digital Filipino Club membership for $10 for 1 year. I throw in a free report that if you purchase a membership, you will be able to download my Filipino online shopper report at that time, which I am selling for $50. On Christmas Day, I got 5 sign-ups. I can still remember who's my very, very first club member. No? So, on Christmas Day, talaga may nag-sign up, nag-avail sa kanya. Of course, they're mostly my friends. No? I had a Yahoo groups din na kailangan ko i-announce. So, kaya pag sinabi kong e-commerce site creation platforms are nice, no? Because they're usually very, very, very powerful for the fraction of amount that you're gonna pay for per month. All the features that they're offering there are so beautiful. They're so powerful. But you just have to realize that they are as good for as long as they remain innovative. No? The moment they stop innovating, the moment they stop improving, the moment they stop, invest in R&D, what have you, it affects you. The owner of Website Wizard was actually the ones who also operates GetResponse.com, which was the mailing list platform, which I really, really loved back then as well. No? So, it can also become an expensive option if you're not active in marketing. The moment you have a website and you're not active in marketing it anymore, it's gonna hurt you also. Kaya kailangan, pag nag-invest ka sa ganyan, nagma-marketing ka. No? Kasi kung hindi ka nagma-marketing, sayang siya. I remember I got ecommercephilippines.com, and then I got Digital Filipino Club, and then I got very, very angry one day because I realized that my domain, ecommercephilippines.com, expired. And I cannot do anything about it because, the domain was provided for free, and then I was telling them, how come it expired? No? And then I also put up cmmifphilippines.com. That's where I got my first johnatural.com domain name. So the whole pain of getting my domain out there, Digital Filipino Club and janatoral.com was nerve-wracking because, you're worried that you will lose your own domain. Kaya, because of that experience, okay, sorry about that. As I mentioned earlier, I had also that experience where when the site was not performing well anymore, all of a sudden my domain names were expiring, and I had to find a way how to pull out my domain name. Kaya I would always suggest that you get your domain name separately from your website subscription. Don't get your domain name from the website that you're subscribing from because the moment you end your website subscription, baka hindi mo makuha yung domain name mo. Okay? So make sure that you take them out separately. Okay? All right, so some examples that you can work with. Of course, the first one would be TACDIS at tacdis.com.ph. You might want to work with TACDIS because they are offering free accounts. If you are selling less than 10 items, then you can have an account free for life with tacdis.com.ph. But of course, if you want to use their advanced features, then that's where you have to pay for it. No? So let's say we visit TACDIS. Ang maganda kay TACDIS, YCWig na siya, no? What you see is what you get. So, similar to Website Wizard, you just build it, you choose templates, you upload your products, you configure the pages. They also have a lot of interesting features, no? So, ayan, no? May free sila kapag 10 products. Pag $2.99 per month, 30 products, $5.99 per month if you have 60 products, $8.99 pag 100 products, and 3,500 if you have unlimited products, and of course, pwede nakalagay ka rin and if you avail of TACDIS Concierge, pwede ka nakalagay sa takatak.com. Okay? So, you set up your payment and delivery, you take care of everything. So, technically, what you're only using the site for is for you to have your own site. No? And then, pag $2.99, yan naman ang features niya. Yan, meron siyang membership application. Oh, meron din pala to. And then, pag professional, you have coupon codes and discount engine. I think dito yata wala pang coupon codes. And then, kapag experts, you can now have a members-only price. And then, you can employ mga product bundle features. And kapag naka-premium ka, which is the $3.5 per month, you have more stuff. No? There, you now have a custom domain, among other things. Okay? At mas advanced din ang reporting niya. Now, if you want to get listed in Takatak, they also have TACDIS Concierge. So, sila yung bahala mag-input ng mga products mo na. No? So, $8.99 per month for a maximum of 100 products listed. And then kapag $3.5 per month for unlimited product listing. So, yung plan na $8.99 at $3.5, concierge na siya. Okay? So, yun na siya. Store creation, store management, may campaigns na sila, and then they take care of your store operations for you. Or more or less, help you take care of your store operations. And then, of course, another platform which is quite popular, and we're seeing a lot of them online, and we see a lot of ads also, is Shopify. I think yung Shopify PH is integrated with Globe, no? So, yeah, meron silang e-commerce. So, if you go to Shopify, so you can sell online, you can have an online store, point of sale, no? Yeah, pwede ka nagkaroon ng Facebook shop. So, ang pricing nila, I think the basic store starts at $13 per month. Okay. So you can have 2 staff accounts, unlimited number of products, and support. Okay. And then for the regular Shopify, it's $54. Okay. 5 staff accounts. Okay. And then meron na siyang fraud analysis. So, yung fraud analysis, ano yan? Doon yan sa isang tool na ginagamit nila. So, pag sabi pa may buyer ka, sasabihin niya sa iyo kung mukhang fraudulent pa siya o hindi. No? So, may ganun siya functionality. SIF Science. And then they have the $107 per month. And ang features naman niya, may report builder at may real-time carrier shipping. Clarify ko nga ulit kung yung what's the retail package. Okay. Okay. So, meron na siyang in-store. Parang point of sale na in-store. So, you can use it in-store as a point of sale. Okay. So, usually, the nice thing about, I think, ang pinakamaganda na feature meron sa Shopify, based from what I've seen, is that marami siyang mga integration tools, especially for sellers that are based in the US who also sell on platforms like Amazon and eBay, and then they have a Shopify store. So if they are integrated through the Shopify account, what happens is that whatever you post on your Shopify account can be propagated to your Amazon store and to your eBay store. And then let's say somebody bought something from your Amazon store or from your eBay store, it will automatically update also on your Shopify account. So your Shopify account becomes a one-stop system. So if you're the kind of seller na international, you're aggressive in selling in platforms like eBay and Amazon, and then you also have your own store, but you have to have one system that manages everything. Yung sabi natin integrated, then Shopify is for you, no? Kaya pa may mga bagong nagtatayo ng marketplaces. Yun yung palagi kong ine-emphasize. Nandun na tayo sa stage na hindi pwedeng merchants just join your marketplace para magbenta sa marketplace mo. Ang direction ng marketplace ngayon, ang strength niya is integration. Kailangan pagpunta sa'yo, makakakabit siya sa iba. Kailangan i-provide mo yung feature na yun kung gusto mo talaga lumaban sa market. Kasi kung hindi ka makakapag-provide ng integration, wala kang competitive edge. No? Kasi you'll just be one of the many marketplaces out there. But if you want to be perceived as a very serious marketplace na mature, mataas ang potential, then talagang kailangan mag-offer ka ng integration. And that is something that you must do ASAP, not something na 5 years from now because your competition is already doing it now. And I think that is what Shopify is learning, and that's why despite the fact that marketplaces are very popular, Shopify is able to retain its popularity among sellers because they provide sellers the means to have their own site, but at the same time, allow them to still use their Amazon accounts and their eBay accounts, but being managed in one storefront, no? Which is through the Shopify platform. Normally, whenever I give talks about e-commerce and building your own website, this usually gets mentioned about creating your platform using Wix. Wix is also a website creator. Actually, parang combination siya. You can use Wix for so many things. I think you can use Wix for landing pages. You can also use Wix to create an e-commerce store. So I guess it depends on what type of store do you want to build. So let's look at their pricing. Tingnan natin yung mga plans nila. Okay. So yeah, you can choose your own domain, look at the bandwidth, analyze your traffic. They usually offer all of this. So ito yung mga typical na package nila. VIP, everything and more. So if you want to do everything, $24.50 per month. So 20 gig storage, connect your domain. They also have a free domain, no ads. You have your Fabicon, build iBuilder, a form builder app, site booster app, online store, 10 email campaigns per month. So that's $24.50 per month. You can also have a professional site review. Now, if you sign up for their e-commerce package, that is $16.50 per month, free domain, no weeks ads, and then may online store. Now, kung landing page lang yung kailangan mo, they charge $12.50 per month, and the package includes this one, 10 gig storage, domain, pero wala siyang store. And then, pag combo, for personal use only, $8.50 per month. And yung pinaka-basic is the $4.50 per month, where you can connect your domain name, but they will still show Wix ads. Okay? So, yun yung parang mga basic nila. Actually, parang wala naman talagang free. No? Yung iba sabi na may free trial, pero what can you really do with a free trial? You can only play around with it for 30 days. And then afterwards, if you don't pay, that's it. No? So I guess it depends on what kind of needs do you have. Okay? So that's Wix for you. If you're the kind of person who is not really into selling products but more into selling of services, subscription, o kaya something that requires you to negotiate with the customer before you can finalize a deal, then you really need to focus more on building landing pages. Personally, I prefer Instapage, and I'm an active user of Instapage, and that is where we usually build our websites, no? Mga landing pages. So usually, if you have an Instapage account, you can create as many pages as you like as part of your account. And if you are a developer, you can sign up for higher level of subscription that will allow you to create sub-accounts so that your clients can log into your account. So they have the basic plan, which is $29. Basic integration, email support, read only for team members. I am subscribed to the professional account, which is for consultants, where you can have unlimited pages, unlimited visitors. They have chat and email support. Kaya ako nag-upgrade because I really want to use the A/B testing variant, no? However, if you are the agency to the point na, you're really aggressive in getting clients, then you can go for the premium account. And the premium account allows you to have brandable lead notification, and then, kung ano-ano pa, no? May onboarding, unlimited sub-accounts. So, I guess it depends on your needs kung ano yung mas kailangan mo. Okay? And then you can get started here for 30 days for free and even run your own domain. Of course, you have to get your own domain separately, but that is something that they offer. Again, I just want to remind you that whenever you use services like this, they will offer you a free domain. As much as possible, you can avail of it, but really try to find out how you can take control of your domain name. The last thing you want is you end the subscription and then you realize you cannot pull out your domain name. No? So make sure that you take control of your domain name. Okay? I noticed recently there are a lot of ads on Facebook, maybe because, of course, I'm usually posting anything about e-commerce. I usually see the ads of BigCommerce. So BigCommerce is similar to Shopify, where you can create your own e-commerce store. So if you go to bigcommerce.com, okay. So BigCommerce, ano nangyari? Okay, so BigCommerce allows you to create your own e-commerce platform as well. And ito tingnan natin yung pricing niya. Kasi at the end of the day, for MSMEs, yun naman ang lagi natin concern, di ba? Magkano siya? So if you're a new business, they charge $29.95, which is a full-featured online store. If you want to be able to optimize it for conversion and customer group management, they're $79.95. So ito yung mga features niya. Ano ba yung difference? So if you notice, yung binabanggit ko kanina mga plugins, no, yung sales channel ng eBay and Amazon, meron din sila. Although I think for Shopify, this is an additional plugin that you need to add, no? And they also have a POS, although Square ang ginagamit nila dito, which is more attuned dun sa abroad, no? And they have Facebook, Pinterest, and Google Shopping integration. And then they also have support for Apple Pay. Siguro kung may US office ka o talaga nag-ship ka for abroad at yun, kaya mo magkaroon ng account doon, then pwede mo siyang gamitin. Although kung tutusin, kahit di mo naman siya may enable, marami naman siyang features na pwede mo rin gamitin. No? But I think kung ganyan, maybe you might want to get started using the free trial and see how it's gonna work. Kasi usually, all of them will claim a lot of nice features eh. But at the end of the day, you will know which one is for you the moment you really start tinkering with it and where you're more comfortable with and happy with the results that you're getting. Okay? So that's an example of the existing platforms that you can use to build your own e-commerce site. So before we continue, are there questions? Either dun sa marketplace or the e-commerce platforms that we just showed now. Do you have questions? Okay, so we learned about how to create platforms that you can use in building your own presence in marketplaces, and then we looked at platforms that you can use to build your own site. Now, the third part is building your own e-commerce site. No? So to build your own e-commerce website, that is also another option that you have. And usually during the mentoring programs, this is what we teach to students. No? Not because this is the default suggested option, but siguro more for longevity. And not everyone kasi are ready to use third-party platforms, but some really prefer doing it on their own. So when does this matter, no? And why does it matter? And what matters when you consider building your own website? So usually you want to have control on your entire site. So when we say control, you want to control your domain name, where are you hosted, what platform are you going to use. You want to be able to configure it from setup up to live production. You want to be able to customize it with your own brand, and you'd like to have the freedom to move from one platform to the other as long as they can support each other, maybe from WordPress to Magento or vice versa, or migrate from one host to another without necessarily losing your content. You also want to have flexibility in customizing the website, like you got a template now and then maybe after a year you want to change it, or you want to use certain plugins that maybe you saw somewhere that is not usually available to other platforms. Then that's the reason why you want to build your own site. The only disadvantage in building your own site is that it may require you additional investment, as you add more tools on the site. Usually when you start, you only need web hosting, your domain name, and that's it. You install WordPress or Magento, and then you avail of all the free plugins that you can use to start a minimum working store. No? Kung sinabi natin minimum working, yung maayos yung interface, no? It properly reflects your brand, no bells and whistles, add your products. I mean, usually if you're an MSME, you only have a limited number of products to begin with anyway, until you ramp up to a higher number of products where you can start, doing more complicated stuff, like top selling feature, among others. And then later on, the moment you want to start adding stuff, that's the time you realize na, if I want to make this work, I have to buy this. I remember assisting one MSME who's selling electronics. So I helped them pull out from their developer whom they've already paid somewhere like 70,000 and 2 years already in development, but the site was not yet live. So it had to be pulled out, and I got a developer who can help them. And then the moment we started tinkering on the website, that's when I realized that they needed more features, or they asked for more features, like the shipping should allow branch pickup, They want a sophisticated affiliate system that can also earn points. And all of these tools require purchasing of a third-party plug-in because it's not available for free by default. So yun yung sinasabi natin na sometimes the more features you want, the more you want to customize it, you're limited by, if you're not really a programmer, you're limited by all the available plugins out there and you need to usually pay for them. Like yung site ko, no, I have ecommercebootcamp.digitalfilipino.com. That was my third site for e-learning. The first site, I had to buy a $45, no, I have to purchase a $50 theme, and the body press was not working well for me. And then the second one, I had to buy a $45 plug-in, and then hindi rin siya talaga nag-work. I mean, my site was crashing. And then the third one, I got an Academy template, and it's working very well. But my problem now with the template that I got was that it's not being updated anymore by the theme creator. So sooner or later, I have to replace it, no? Or have to tinker it with myself. So anyway, you might need technical assistance if you are unfamiliar in building and maintaining it. And you must be diligent in backing up your website and update the backend to protect from security breaches. And sometimes if you don't do this right, you might end up crashing your own site. And I'm sure for those of us who have been maintaining our own websites for quite some time, we've had our own episodes of crashing our own sites, no? Out of our urgency to update it, no? So anyway, so those are some of the concerns that you have to take note of when running your own website. Okay. So let's continue with some of the options that we have. Okay, so some checklists, no? If you're going to build your own website, this is the 4 basic things that you have to take note of. First, you need to get your own domain name. Usually, the default place where you need to get your own domain name is godaddy.com. However, if you want to save money in getting your own domain name, I learned this from Jun Barangan of Cebu Digital Hub. You can go to fatwallet.com. And then, once you go to fatwallet.com, you look for domain deals, no? Kasi di ba, usually kasi yung mga, ano nangyari? Usually kasi yung mga domain names, they usually cost $10 per month, per year kapag bibili ka, no? So, ang suggestion ko, kapag kukuha kayo ng domain name for the first time, kumuha kayo ng GoDaddy deal sa Fat Wallet. Because through this one, makakabili ka ng domain name na 99 cents lang. So, ibig sabihin, less than $1, makakabili ka na kagad ng domain. So, for the first year. So, at least, diba, if you're starting, you might want to save as much as you can. So, para makamura kayo, gumamit kayo ng coupon. Like ito, CJCFW99. Upon checkout, you type in the coupon code and you'll be able to purchase a domain name for 99 cents for the first year. So I would suggest taking advantage of that. So let me share that with you so you can check it out. No? Okay. Another thing that you might want to think about is hosting. So usually, maraming recommended platforms for hosting. And it depends on the kind of website that you want to run. I'm using Media Temple kasi when I was working on my website, parang siya yung recommended ni WordPress. Pero if you're not sure, and usually parang hindi ako aware ng tao kapag nag-recommend ako ng website, I usually go to wordpress.org and then I look at hosting. And then, from there, tinitingnan ko sino yung mga ni-recommend ni WordPress. So, I have students who have created websites running on Bluehost. Some of them run on DreamHost. I also got the chance to try out Flywheel in a project. There's also SiteGround. Pero yung iba kasi medyo pricey siya, no? So far nakikita kong quite competitive ang pricing is si Bluehost at si DreamHost. Pero yun nga lang, kung medyo sanay kang gumamit ng mga HostGator, may similarity naman sila, no? And matyaga ka dapat gumamit ng chat support. Insofar as chat support is concerned, I really like the chat support of DreamHost. And I find them easier to use. Although, I must admit, yung mga first-time setup, minsan may konting bloopers lang siya. Pero, ang nagustuhan ko naman, after chatting with them, they are able to fix it. Si Bluehost, medyo, I find it quite a little bit geeky. So, kailangan talaga matyaga ka magbasa. I was helping a student troubleshoot yung website niya kasi he got a plan na supposedly unlimited domain. And then we were trying to point it para hindi namin makita kung paano i-add yung second domain until I had to use the help archives and I found out that the answer was there all along doon sa page na tinitigan namin. Mali lang yung placement ng text that prevented us from seeing it. No? So, may mga ganong challenges lang sa paggamit ng site. Okay? So, if you will use, let's look at Bluehost and then let's look at DreamHost. Now, usually when looking for a platform, madalas mako-confuse ka rin sa kanya pagdating sa pricing ng web hosting. Kasi by default, parang tingin mo sa kanya mura. Pero yung pala, kaya siya mura kasi parang may mga requirements siya na you have to purchase it for a year, no? So you have to be very conscious of that, especially when making your computations as to what website you're gonna get. So Bluehost, sabi niya rito, $2.95 per month. Ano yung mga tinitingnan natin? So sabi dito, there's 24/7 support. Okay, that's good. One-click WordPress installation. Yes, that's very important. May money-back guarantee if you don't like the service. They're scalable, enhanced control panel, and yes, they're recommended by WordPress. No? So, I have students who are using this. Ako yata, for one project, I ended up using itong si DreamHost. No? And I think, kaya namin siya kinuha, may mga ano siya eh. Let's click on this. Ang nagustuhan ko sa kanya, yung you can add plugins. Ito. Ito yung nagustuhan ko sa kanya. Kasi by default, WordPress.com also offers hosting. Meaning, if you create a site on WordPress.com and avail of their hosting, pwede rin naman siya. Pero ang nagustuhan ko, kaya ako kumuha noon ng DreamHost, ito ang nag-catch na attention ko, yung use any theme or plugin. Because some web hosts, they require you to use whatever plugins are only available with them. So at that time, ito yung nagustuhan ko sa kanya. And then they also have no bandwidth or number of visitor limits because the others, parang may limit sila and they charge you more if you have more visitors. And that is what I'm experiencing right now with my Media Temple. Although I haven't really let them go kasi parang, it's not that easy to switch web host anyway, especially if you're not 100% full-time maintaining your website, no? And they also have pre-install Let's Encrypt. Yan. If you want to use SSL, yung Let's Encrypt is a big deal kasi itong Let's Encrypt is free SSL. So, since naka-pre-install na siya, so ibig sabihin, pwede kang mag-implement ng SSL without necessarily spending for it. Kasi ready na siya, no? Gagamitin mo na lang. So, pwede ka na mag-Let's Encrypt easily, no? And tutusin yung requirement na meron kang SSL. Like, for example, yung site ko, gustuin ko malagyan siya ng SSL, pero parang ang dami, nilagyan ko na siya ng Let's Encrypt. Pero by default talaga, hindi siya naka-integrate. Ito, by default, naka-integrate siya. So, I think that's very important, no? So, let's look at the pricing. I hope you can see the pricing clearly. So, ito, $7.95 for shared hosting, and then they also have DreamPress. No? Saan ba yung pricing plan nila para makita natin? Pricing. I think simplify na lang nila yung pricing nila. Yun na lang. Okay. Ito. Shared SSD, 30 gig SSD. They support other applications on other domains, while DreamPress doesn't. monthly price of $10.95, $19.95. And then annual plan, yeah, comparison siya. And usually you use shared hosting if you have multiple low traffic sites. Okay? So yun ang kanilang pricing. Remember, whatever web hosting you're gonna use, take advantage of the affiliate program para makatipid ka. Okay? Now, ito naman, asan ang pricing niya? Pricing. This one, yan, $19.99 per month. And then, pansin nyo, ito, meron siyang visitor limits. Pero of course, talaga naman, no, maka 100 million visits ka, di ba? Mag-complain ka pa doon sa visitor limits niya. And then, 30 gig. And then, ito, one domain lang. May included siyang one domain. Ayan. cPanel, CDN, among others. Okay? So, yan yung kanyang WordPress hosting. Now, kung ayaw mo mag-WordPress hosting, gusto mo na mag-avail ng shared hosting para you can have multiple websites and then you just install your WordPress. Ito yun. So, kapag ayaw mo ng WordPress hosting, you can use shared hosting and then you manually install. May mga one-click install naman sila ng WordPress. So, if you want to have unlimited websites, yan, you go for the $545 per month. Pero usually this price is if you take it annual. So, that's how it works. Okay? So, yung Asura, Daisylin asked about asurahosting.com. Yeah, we can check it out. And then Julieta asked about, we have recorded version. Yeah, we usually post a recorded version after the webinar for people to check out our discussion. So, sabi ni, tingnan daw natin si asurahosting.com. Ito yung ginagamit ni Daisylin dun sa site niya. Ba Daisylin? Did I get it right? Okay, it's loading now. Okay, so ito mga ano, no? Usually yung mga starter na websites, yan, mga mura sila, no? Ako naman, I'm not really against getting mga cheaper na web hosting for as long as you can really trust them. Kasi I remember, nagkaroon ako ng experience dito sa Manila, mayroong nag-offer ng web hosting and they even sponsored one of our events and a lot of bloggers sign up. And then one day, nag-crash yung hosting nila to the point yung mga bloggers, nabura yung mga blogs nila. And the hosting doesn't have the latest backup. And the hosting was telling the bloggers that they should be the one to be backing up their blogs. So it was really a nightmare yung experience. So for as long as you're comfortable and you feel that the web hosting is reliable, then go ahead and use it. Now, if you're not sure, you can also type, let's say, Asura Hosting, and then I'm gonna type review, and then check out what people say about the site. You know? So, like you have sitegeek.com commenting on Asura Hosting. Yeah. So, 58% user sentiment said it's very good. 42% says it's average. And then, SiteGeek rating of 62. So, yeah, people are giving their comments. So, if you're not sure whether okay siya o hindi, then you can check out SiteGeek and get the feedback. So, let's say you're looking at Bluehost. So, you type Bluehost, and then you can check out the feedback being given by people. Let's say you're looking at DreamHost, ganun din. And if you want to give your own feedback, especially if you're very happy with the service of your web hosting provider, then go ahead and give a good feedback for them. No? I'm sure yung Media Temple ko baka mababa. Mababa kaya sila? Hindi naman pala. No? So far, I like them naman. Marami gumagamit ng HostGator eh. So, what do they say about HostGator? Oh, HostGator, Batasa, 80. Okay? So, pwede kayo dito tumingin kung gusto nyong kung gusto niyo lang talagang manigurado, no, you can check out the rankings at SiteGeek and see what people are saying about it, and get the plan that suits you, no, and that the one that suits your budget. Okay. So you have to get your domain name, your web hosting. So I showed you earlier how to get web hosting, domain name cheaper if you're using GoDaddy. And of course, I'm sure that there are a lot of domain name providers who can give you something cheap to deal with. But I don't usually just buy domain names from anywhere. I kind of stick to what I'm comfortable with. So I got Network Solutions, and then I got from GoDaddy, and I think I got from another provider. But sometimes it's hard to maintain several providers. And then you have to decide on your content management system. So for content management system and integrating e-commerce along with it, of course, you can use WooCommerce. Usually WooCommerce is the e-commerce plugin that we use with WordPress in order for your WordPress installation to have e-commerce capabilities. So you usually add WooCommerce. The nice thing about WooCommerce is that it has so many things included, and a lot of them are actually included for free. So let's say you want to install WooCommerce on your WordPress, so and you can actually get started for free. So in fact, meron din silang hosting na sinasuggest, no? They have Project Showcase, extensions, yeah. You also have themes that you can use. Usually, if you want to use an e-commerce theme for free, you would use Storefront, although they have other theme packages, no? And they also have a lot of plugins that you can use for free also. And some are with fee, no? Some are with fee, although not everything na may fee sa kanila binibili. Yung iba gawa rin ng ibang tao. No? So, okay, so you can check them out if you want to learn more about WooCommerce. Yeah. And then, of course, you can also install Magento. Magento is also a popular e-commerce platform. It also has a community edition where you can run a Magento site, but not all e-commerce sites, not all web hosting can offer you Magento installation, although marami naman sa kanila meron din. No? So let's say if you type in Magento web hosting, yeah. So these are some of the platforms that offers you Magento hosting. So you'd better check na lang kung sino nag-offer ng Magento hosting sa kanila. So halimbawa, ito si HostGator. HostGator has Magento hosting. Actually, si Media Tempo, nalagyan ko rin siya ng Magento hosting. And si HostGator actually is also one of the more competitive ones. No? And then they also offer premium Magento web hosting. Okay. And starting at $395 per month. All right. Just remember, like what I mentioned earlier, remember that whatever platform you choose, it's also about you being comfortable in maintaining your site because, of course, it will require time and resource to do it. And if you're not capable, you have to get someone to help you. And usually, if you want to run your own e-commerce website, of course, you have to have your own payment gateway account. For most of the commercial platforms, they would usually let you add your bank details and your PayPal. The nice thing about Magento or WordPress, usually some of the payment gateway platforms have created plugins already that can work with these open source platforms so that you can start using them on your website. Okay. So before I wrap up our presentation for tonight, I just want to remind you of and we proceed with the demo. I just want to remind you of the following. Content is king. So make sure that whatever platform you use, whether you would use an e-commerce marketplace, you're going to use a ready-made e-commerce platform, or you're going to build your own website, you have to take care of your photos. And we will discuss this more during the content planning session next week. You must have good product descriptions, and I will also give you a script to follow for our session next week when writing your product descriptions. Make sure that your policies are complete from privacy, terms and conditions, refunds and returns, and we'll discuss this in further detail next week on the components. Your company profile, your contact us page, if you can also communicate your brand or product philosophy, that will be good, because if you are one of the many, like for example, if you're selling soap and you're one of the many out there who's selling soap, one thing that will make you different from the other or from others is how you communicate your brand philosophy or your product philosophy. What guiding principles or values do you follow when developing your products that will allow you to communicate the story, or the whole romance, on your product creation. And then your social media updates, and make sure that you have a help desk system, because the DTI requires that you need to have a process on how you can resolve customer complaints um, on your site, or how you process them the moment you receive it from a customer. And this is something that you have to take very seriously. I have my PayPal account since 2007. And then last Friday, I was so surprised. I got my very first PayPal dispute. Apparently, parang one of my modular student, a student who signed up for a module, filed a credit card dispute for a transaction, and said that it was an unauthorized transaction, and claimed for a refund or a reversal of the charges. And the credit card company has already reversed the charges. So PayPal is now calling my attention, saying that I have a chargeback dispute. So, and the challenging thing about it is that I'm using it for training, so there's no physical product that was delivered. So I had to contact my student and say, ano nangyari dito? Bakit unauthorized siya? Kasi if you remember, you sent the money. We did not go through shopping cart. So you actually sent me a sum rather than me billing you or anything. So how come it becomes a disputed, an unauthorized transaction? So we have to go through the process of her calling the credit card that it was a mistake, replying to my email that it was a mistake, and I have to submit that to PayPal and have to wait how things will prosper. So that's why, as much as possible, make sure that you communicate properly with your customers also, and you must have a process in place. And having a help desk system on how you're going to handle situations like this must be established already, or must be established beforehand, rather than panic at the last minute. Okay, so before I end my presentation and move to the next part, which is the hands-on, especially if you want to consult whatever you're working on right now, I'd like to share with you that we're having an e-commerce entrepreneur summit. Okay, and you can check that out at www.ecomsummit.asia. We're going to be in Manila. It's going to be in Manila on January 7, January 14 in Cebu, January 21 Baguio, January 28 in Davao. We have the Manila team who came up with the Blagadia Marketplace, or the Bloggers Advertisers Marketplace, to be showcased at that event. Jana is also working on a financial advisors marketplace, and I think we're going to launch that tonight. The Baguio team came up with Para sa Baguio, and then the Cebu team came up with CebuBay.com, and then the Davao team actually has their own project, but I'm hoping they'll be able to launch it tonight or tomorrow. So they will proceed and further showcase that during the summit. And then, apart from this series, and after this session, I'm going to upload the video, write up a brief article, and let you access it. I just want to share with you that we have 42 free e-commerce and digital marketing learning modules that you can already access. So check it out at bit.ly/ecomlearn, and we also have one at bit.ly/ecomactivation. And then for our next session, which is next Monday, January 2, Monday 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., we're going to have Module 3, which is content planning for e-commerce. Although I gave you an idea already on what we're about to discuss, but we're going to talk about mandatory content for an e-commerce site, your buyer's persona, how you do a competition analysis, and then creating a content plan suited for your buyer's journey stages. So this is going to be our topic for next Monday. Okay? So thank you very much for joining us tonight.